What is going on, family? It's Eduardo back with another drawing tutorial, and today we're going to be drawing Thor. So the first step is to start off with a circle and begin sketching out his jawline. Remember to stay simple, thin lines, sketchy. Don't draw with any hard lines. That'll just make it more difficult to erase it, just in case you want to change things around. So now we're drawing the nose and part of the mouth. The eyes, remember that the eyes, try to draw them almost like triangles, kind of like Batman's eyes. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Just try to keep them almost like triangles. I guess Batman's eyes aren't like that, but I hope you guys get my point. And somewhat add a little bit of detail to his face, just to get an idea of where the details are going to go after when we start inking. And part of his hair, as you can see, is already being started, as well as his helmet. Now here, since it's just a rough sketch, it kind of looks sloppy, I understand, but remember, this is the beginning, and we're going to be working our way up. Took quite a while to finish this drawing. It took about an hour and a half, and to think that I had to cut it down to about 12 minutes, which is, in my opinion, that's pretty crazy. So we have most of the outline finished. We have his shoulder guard, I think it is, yeah. And you want to have some of his cape sketched out, nothing too crazy, just make it sloppy if you have to, fix it later. Now that we finished the outline, you can see here that I'm shading in any dark areas, and like I said before, like I mentioned before, the lines that are on his face to indicate where the shading is gonna go. And the picture that I found, it kind of made him look older. So that's the kind of look that we're going for today. And remember to blend in the shading to give it a nice tone. Start adding a bit more detail to the hair. It looks sloppy, I'm not gonna lie, but when we start inking, it's gonna look a lot neater. But for now, just keep it the way you like it, and do what's best for you. The pencil that I'm using is an HB pencil. Nothing fancy for now, at least, because we're still not at the inking process yet. And after the inking process, that's when we get a little bit more serious with the shading. Now, what I did was that before I started inking, I did like a rough sketch, I guess, of the shading. That way, when I ink, everything there is going to be set, and I can just go over it with the 2B, HB, and the ebony pencils. So I did a little bit of I did a combination of inking and shading again, like usual. See, that's the benefit of sketching lightly, because you can just erase it and it won't affect the drawing, because it's like nothing was ever there. So when you sketch lightly, you're able to erase it and the marks won't stay there. Now, the shading for, say, his armor, that was actually quite difficult. Honestly, I'm not even that satisfied with how I did it. Now, this is the first time I do, well, first time? Okay, yeah, I guess it is the first time, because I'm not really used to drawing, how can me say I'm not really used to drawing Marvel characters. No, well, that doesn't mean anything. What I'm trying to say is I'm not really used to drawing like realistic objects, I guess. Yeah, I never really practiced that much, so it's really hard for me to do the shadows and the highlights and everything. But I'm an artist and I'm learning just like you guys, so you know, it is what it is, just like I always say. See, the reason why I'm drawing these lines are because it gives me an idea of where the shadows are gonna go. It kind of looks like a bitten piece of whatever. I don't know, it looks like something was bitten. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about. We're gonna get into more detail with the cape. Nothing too schmancy fancy. Or is it fancy schmancy? I don't know. Yeah. Alright, now we're going to get into a bit more detail with the drawing, adding more shadows. And now we're starting the inking process. See, now since it's comic book style, this character, I tried my best. Like I said, I'm not really used to drawing Marvel characters or comic book characters, but I'm practicing, you know. It's, in my opinion, it's not too shabby for a first time. I was actually thinking about drawing Spider-Man, but then I thought, you know, Thor's actually a pretty good character. He has a lot of detail. Spider-Man, I'll leave that for next time. Maybe for another tutorial. Oh yeah, by the way, I now believe that it's better for me just to talk or do voiceovers for tutorials. And as for speed art videos, maybe in some of them I'll do some voiceovers, but it just makes more sense to do them in tutorials because, you know, you're teaching your viewers how to draw something. So for the helmet and the armor, what I did was that, you see how I kind of like went over it with a really light tone? That was my 2H pencil, and then I went over it again where I made the lines before with my HB pencil, and I added a little bit of highlights to where like each line of the helmet is. That way it kind of adds more intensity. No, not intensity, what am I talking about? The intensity is for the face. Like I'm doing right now with the ebony pencil. I just blended it in. That way it looks more intense, like I was supposed to say before. And I went over it again with... I went over the helmet again with the ebony pencil to maybe add a bit more detail. And I used a fine point pencil... Not pencil, I'm sorry. My favorite Castell pen. Where the dark area of his face is. Just so it doesn't look... just so it looks even, there we go. Because it looks kind of weird having all the lines and everything, and then you just have that dark area with no lines, and it just looks even now. So now we're doing some final shading parts, and that made no sense. Sorry guys, I'm kind of improvising here because I don't have a lot of time right now, and this is just something really quick. So for the armor, his shoulder armor, I used a 2B pencil real quick to... No, actually that was my ebony pencil, I'm sorry. And then I blended it in after. Sorry guys, I wasn't able to show that part. No, I don't think you missed a lot, but see, this is why I need a new camera, because my iPhone can't record that much. Well, can't cover that much, I'm sorry. So the areas where the cape are, the dark areas, that's where I use my ebony pencil, and I used it lightly for where there are no shading areas. I think I did blend it in after. Blended it in. From there. So now I'm basically finished. I just have to shade in the hair and a couple more areas and sign it, and that's pretty much it. What a way to finish it. That was not a way to finish it. Thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I'm sorry if it didn't come out that well, but of course that's why we practice, right? And comment down below your suggestions. Please don't forget to subscribe. Share this video with your friends. I'm pretty sure they'll like it. Of course, who doesn't like Thor? And I'll see you guys next time. Hasta luego, mis amigos. Gracias por ver este video. Si les gustó este video, por favor, dejen un like y suscríbete si no te has suscrito todavía. Les prometo que vale la pena. Aquí van a ver dibujos buenísimos y hasta el próximo. À bientôt mes amis. Si vous avez mon vidéo, n'oubliez pas de souscrire s'il vous plaît. Au revoir.